Okay, next up what I'm going to show you is a few things that we can do with that pentatonic position that we've looked at, where we're going to be taking a look at a couple of sequences which make it a little bit more usable in a musical context. So here's the first sequence. Okay, what we're doing here is we're starting on the 17th fret on the A string, pulling off to 14 on the A. Then we've got 17 on the low E, 14 to 17 on the A. Then we've got 14 on the D, then 17 to 14 on the A. So we've got... So that's going to be the pattern that we're going to be using. Then we're starting on 17 on the D this time. Pull off to 14 on the D. Then we've got 17 on the A, 14 to 17 on the D, then 14 on the G, then 17 to 14 on the D. So far at a slow tempo we've got this. Okay, then we've got 16 to 14 on the G, then 17 on the D, 14 to 16 on the G. Then we've got 15 to 17 on the B, 16 on the G, then 15 to 17 on the B, 15, 17, 15 on the high E string, 17, 15 on the B, 16 on the G, and then finish on 17 on the B. Okay, so at a slow tempo, this is how it should sound. Okay, the next sequence we're going to look at is a recurring lick that's just literally going to repeat the first part over and over, and it's going to include barring your first finger across the 15th fret on the B and the high E string, and then we're going to use our third and second finger to use as hammer-ons and pull-offs. This particular lick can be used in the first position as well, and you can use it in the third position, which we will come to at a later date. But literally the first part of the lick is going to look like this. So as you can see, it just literally cycles round and round, and you haven't really got to do too much with the right hand for this sort of lick. You're going to start with an upstroke on the high E string, so you're barring your first finger across the 15th fret on the B and the high E, starting with an upstroke on the high E string. Then you're going to hammer on to 17 on the B, pull off to 15 on the B, then just hammer on 16 on the G string. So then you're going to use an upstroke on 15 on the B, hammer on to 17 on the B, and then start the lick over again. So you've got two upstrokes, one on 15 on the B and then one on 15 on the high E with a hammer on in between. And then you just literally cycle that round and round. Okay, now I mentioned before that repeating lick can be used in different positions of the E minor pentatonic scale. Now in the first DVD we looked at the first position pentatonic scale, and out of those notes we're going to use 12 on the high E string, 15, 12 on the B string, and then we're going to be using 14 on the G string, and we're literally going to be using the same technique where barring the 12th fret this time with the first finger, starting with the high E string. So we've got so it's the same as doing, but you're just doing it in the first position. Okay, so you know, you're moving it around, so it's a good fast lick to be able to do, and it's not really that taxing on either the right hand or the left hand. Okay, moving on to the second part of this lick, we're going to use that lick to join it up. So we've got so starting on the high E string, we've got 15 on the high E, 17, 15 on the B, 16 on the G, then we've got 15 on the B, 16, 14 on the G, and then 17 on the D. So after the repeating lick, we're going to have that. Okay, then after that, we've got a repeating lick starting on the 15th fret on the G string. This is where our flat 5 comes into play. Then we're going to pull off to 14 on the G string. Then we've got 17 to 14 on the D. Then up to 17 again on the D. Then we've got 14, 15, 14 on the G. And then we're just going to repeat it round. So it's going to sound like this at a slow tempo. Which, you know, if you speed that up, that's quite a good repeating lick in itself. Okay, so that last lick lends itself really well to using alternate picking, and it's sort of something different than what you did before. So, you know, rather than just using 2 upstrokes and using hammer-ons and pull-offs, you're incorporating alternate picking within the lick as well. So, you know, you've got this first part. Okay, then after that, we're going to go back up to 17 on the D, and then play 14, 15 on the G. Then we've got 17 on the B, and then 20 on the B. Then we've got 17, 18, 17 on the high E, then 20 on the B, and then finish on 17 on the B string. Okay, so with that alternate picking part, it should sound like this at a slow tempo. Okay, so the whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, now let's take a look at those 2 sequences over the backing track. So here they are. Okay, so as you can see, playing to the backing track, both those licks work really well together. You know, if you can practice just like the first one and get that up to scratch, and then practice the second one, you know, get really comfortable with that, and then just join them together, and it makes quite a nice phrase over the backing track, so you can include that within your own playing.